Hello, folks. I am Alan for today's news. I will be reading and speaking about world news, interesting news to keep you entertained, and news to keep you informed. And what I got for you today is from out of from KMO, KMOV4 out of St. Louis, Missouri. It says Piedmont, Missouri celebrates 50 years since reported UFO event.
Piedmont, Missouri, KFVS, Close Encounters of the Piedmont Kind is underway. The Piedmont Area Chamber of Commerce and Missouri Mutual UFO Network partnered to host the event April 21st to 22nd, although events were scheduled all week long. The UFO Fest commemorates the 50-year anniversary of a 1973 incident. Events include a parade, historical memorabilia, drive-in movie, guest speakers, sky watch and more. Click here for a list of events by day. It will be held at the Clearwater Family Youth Center on MO 34 in Piedmont. According to the Chamber of Commerce website, guest speakers will include Debbie Ziegelmeyer, State Director for Missouri MUFON, Margie Kay, Assistant State Director for Missouri MUFON, Mel Van Vickel, Chief Investigator for Missouri MUFON, and Forrest Crawford, researcher, podcaster, and hypnotherapist.
And let's see what this video here says.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Show 2. Joining me this morning is Sarah Phillips from the Piedmont Area Chamber of Commerce to talk about the 50th anniversary of the UFO wave. And you guys are hosting an event which is called Close Encounters of the Piedmont Kind. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So take us through a little bit of the background about what happened 50 years ago in Piedmont that started all of this.
Back in February of 1973, there were actually over 500 reported UFO sightings, which of course brought national attention to the Piedmont area. Swarms of people who just wanted to see their own UFOs or who were researchers, photographers. The Air Force even came in and studied these sightings that all of these people in the community were reporting.
Okay, that's about almost 5 minutes long. The link will be in my description box. I never heard of it before, but in that year I was in Germany in the military and never heard nothing about it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one here is from KMOV4 out of St. Louis. Michigan recalls tires that don't have enough snow traction.
Detroit, AP. Michelin is recalling more than 542,000 light truck tires in the U.S. because they don't have enough traction to work in all snowy conditions. The recall covers certain Alleges cross-climate C-metric tires that Michelin says don't meet U.S. safety standards. The tire maker says in documents posted Thursday by safety regulators that tires without sufficient traction can increase the risk of a crash. Dealers will replace the tires at no cost to owners. Owners will get interim notification letters starting June 12th. They'll get another letter once the replacements are available. The company says initial tire testing was done with the wrong tire pressure. Later tests by Michelin discovered the problem. Michelin says the tires are marked with the Alpine symbol with 3 mountain peaks showing they work well in snow, but are not classified as snow tires. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has posted a document with the tire sizes on its website.
Okay, that's all I got from that one there. Link will still be in my description box. Let's go on to the next one here. This one here I like. This is from KMOV4 out of St. Louis. IRS agent alleges Hunter Biden probe is being mishandled.
President Joe Biden's sister Valerie Biden Owens walks in the rain with his son Hunter Biden as they visit the Knock Shrine in Knock, Ireland, Friday, April 14, 2023. An IRS special agent is seeking whistleblower protection to disclose information regarding what the agent contends is mishandling of an investigation into President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. That is according to a letter to Congress obtained by the Associated Press, AP photo/Patrick Szymanski, file. By the Associated Press. Published April 20th, 2023 at 8:32 a.m. PDT, updated 3 hours ago. Share on Facebook. Email this link. Share on Twitter. Share on Pinterest. Share on LinkedIn. Washington, AP. An IRS special agent is seeking whistleblower protection to disclose information about what the agent alleges is mishandling of an investigation into President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, according to a letter sent to members of Congress. Mark Lytle, the attorney for the IRS whistleblower, wrote to lawmakers Wednesday that his client has information about a failure to mitigate clear conflicts of interest in the ultimate disposition of a criminal investigation related to the younger Biden's taxes and whether he made a false statement in connection with a gun purchase. Despite serious risks of retaliation, my client is offering to provide you with information necessary to exercise your constitutional oversight function and wishes to make the disclosures in a nonpartisan manner to the leadership of the relevant committees on both sides of the political aisle, Lytle said in a letter, obtained by the Associated Press, that was sent to the chairman and ranking members of several House and Senate committees. The letter states that the supervisory special agent previously disclosed the information they are seeking to share with Congress internally with the IRS and a watchdog for the Justice Department. Lytle added that his client is able to contradict sworn testimony to lawmakers by a senior political appointee. That appointee is not named. The special agent also wants to disclose examples of preferential treatment and politics improperly infecting decisions and protocols that would normally be followed by career law enforcement professionals in similar circumstances if the subject were not politically connected, the lawyer added. The Justice Department declined to comment. Hunter Biden's legal team had no immediate comment. A request for comment from the IRS was not immediately returned. Hunter Biden's taxes and foreign business work have been under federal investigation by a federal grand jury in Delaware since at least 2018. So far, no charges have been filed. Additionally, his membership on the board of a Ukrainian energy company and his efforts to strike deals in China have long raised questions by Republicans about whether he traded on his father's public service. Joe Biden has said he has never spoken to his son about foreign business. There are no indications that the federal investigation involves the president. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a congressional hearing last month that he won't interfere with the department's investigation.
Okay, there's more to read. Not much more, but there's a little bit more to read. If you want to read about it, link will be in my description box. Let's go to the next one here. This one here is from Business Insider. U.S. troops are moving into position for a possible embassy evacuation mission amid intense fighting in Sudan.
U.S. troops are deploying to positions near Sudan amid a worsening situation there. Forces are being deployed for possibly securing and potentially facilitating the departure of U.S. embassy personnel, the Pentagon said. Intense fighting in Sudan has left hundreds dead and thousands more injured. U.S. forces are being deployed to positions near Sudan in case they are required to rapidly evacuate American diplomatic staff, a Pentagon official said on Thursday. The East African country has been gripped by intense and deadly violence for nearly a week after fighting broke out between Sudan's National Army and a rival paramilitary group. The Department of Defense, through U.S. Africa Command, is monitoring the situation in Sudan and conducting prudent planning for various contingencies, Pentagon spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Phil Ventura said in a statement. As part of this, we are deploying additional capabilities nearby in the region for contingency purposes related to securing and potentially facilitating the departure of U.S. Embassy personnel from Sudan, if circumstances require it, he said, adding that the Pentagon does not speculate on potential future missions as a matter of policy and security.
Okay, there's more to read if you want to read more about it. We know how that's going to happen with Biden in charge. He's going to leave people there. He's going to leave equipment there. It don't matter. We're screwed. Let's go to the next one. This is from CNN. North Korean hackers breach software firm in significant cyber attack.
Suspected North Korean hackers infiltrated a software firm that claims hundreds of thousands of customers around the world in a cyber attack that shows Pyongyang's advanced hacking capabilities, private investigators said Thursday. The breach of the software firm 3CX, discovered last month, provided a potential foothold for the North Koreans into a huge swath of multinational firms, from hotel chains to healthcare providers, that use the firm's software for voice and video calls. The number of companies affected by the hack and what the hackers ultimately did with access to victim networks remain unclear. But it's the latest evidence that North Korean hackers are pulling out all the stops to break into organizations to steal or spy on them in support of dictator Kim Jong-un's strategic interests. The hack shows an increased level of cyber-offensive capability by North Korean operatives, said Charles Carmichael, Chief Technology Officer at Mandiant Consulting, which 3CX hired to investigate the hack. A recent CNN investigation found a rampant effort by North Korean hackers to steal cryptocurrency and launder it into hard cash that might help fund the regime's weapons programs. Such North Korean cyber activity is part of regular intelligence products presented to senior U.S. officials, sometimes including President Joe Biden, a senior U.S. official previously told CNN. In the case of 3CX, Mandiant said the hackers wormed their way into company's software production environment by first compromising software made by another firm, derivatives trading platform Trading Technologies. A 3CX employee downloaded the now-defunct Trading Technologies software that the hackers had tampered with, according to Mandiant. This is the first time that we've ever found concrete evidence of a supply chain attack leading to another supply chain attack, Carmichael told reporters Wednesday. Yet the impact of the hack is unclear. Any of 3CX's customers that downloaded the bugged software would have been susceptible to compromise. But the North Koreans likely singled out a much smaller number of victims for follow-on activity on their network, according to U.S. cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. The suspected North Korean hackers did use the 3CX access to target cryptocurrency firms late last month, Georgy Kukarin, a researcher at Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky, told CNN.
Okay, you want to read the rest of it? There's more to read. And let's go to the next one here. Okay, this from Al Jazeera. Iran says its Navy forced U.S. submarines to surface in Gulf waters.
An Iranian official says Iran's Navy obliged a U.S. submarine to surface as it entered the Gulf, violating its border, in the latest report of an apparent confrontation between Iranian and U.S. forces in the region. The U.S. submarine was approaching while submerged, but the Iranian submarine Fateh detected it and carried out maneuvers to force it to surface as it went through the Strait of Hormuz. It had also entered into our territorial waters, but it corrected its course after being warned, Navy Commander Shahram Irani told state television on Thursday. This submarine was doing its best, using all its capacities, to pass in total silence and without being detected, Irani said. We will certainly reflect to international bodies the fact that it had violated our border. Earlier this month, the U.S. Navy said the nuclear-powered submarine Florida, equipped with a guided missile system, was operating in the Middle East in support of its Fifth Fleet based in Bahrain. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. military to Iran's remarks. In early April, the Iranian Navy said it identified and warned off a U.S. reconnaissance plane outside the mouth of the Gulf.
Okay, just stop reading. There's just one more paragraph there if you want to read it later. Let's go to the next one here. This is from Benzinga. U.S. rejects strong storing No, rejects from storing weapons in Philippines to defend Taiwan against possible Chinese attack.
The Philippines ruled out the idea of Washington storing weapons to potentially use them to protect Taiwan on bases the U.S. has access to through the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA. What happened? Enrique Manalo, Manila's Secretary of Foreign Affairs, stated that the country would not allow Washington to carry out activities that were not specified in the 2014 agreement. Our view is that EDCA is not aimed at any third country outside it's meant for use for the Philippines, Manalo told a Senate hearing on Wednesday, reported the South China Morning Post. Manalo said the Philippines' primary foreign policy goal is to maintain friendly relations with all countries and promised that the security agreement would align with this stance. He
Okay, I'm going to cut it off there. You can read the rest of that in my description box. And we'll go to the next one here. Kevin McCarthy, just from 2 paragraphs. Kevin McCarthy snaps at Wacko Biden move. He's hiding.
President Biden spoke at a trade union event in Accokeek, Maryland and addressed the looming debt ceiling increase showdown. Biden called House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's threats to link an increase to spending cuts worse than totally irresponsible. Biden, who has proposed a budget and has asked McCarthy to do the same, said memorably that the GOP is refusing to talk seriously unless I agree to all these wacko notions they have. McCarthy's spending cut proposal, upon which he says any debt ceiling negotiations must hinge, is what triggered Biden's move to characterize the notions as wacko. Neither the Dems nor McCarthy proposed changes to Social Security, which is a problem for the far right wing of McCarthy's precarious coalition. Folks, that's the mega economic agenda, Biden said. Spending cuts for working and middle-class folks, and tax cuts for those at the top of the pile. Biden repudiated McCarthy's claim that he was trying to exercise fiscal discipline, a claim McCarthy has made by dubiously comparing the federal budget to a family's budge. Biden said, it's not about fiscal discipline. It's about cutting benefits for folks that they don't seem to care much about. McCarthy snapped back at Biden's characterization, asking 3 prosaic rhetorical questions in a tweet. Does President Biden think it's wacko nonsense, McCarthy asks, to limit reckless government spending, save taxpayers' money, grow our economy? One foreign policy expert and best-selling author is raising red flags that the United States and its allies may soon no longer be a match against China and its military and technological capabilities. They see themselves as becoming the dominant power in the world, and they're working on that strategy. So it's something that we have to take absolutely seriously, Atlas Organization founder Jonathan D.T. Ward said on Mornings with Maria Thursday. If we lose, it's like losing the Cold War, and would be a catastrophic outcome for the U.S. So we have to take this seriously as a whole country. On Wednesday, the Biden administration dodged Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy's question asking when the president plans to confront Chinese President Xi Jinping over recent aggression.
Okay, that's all I'm going to play on that one there. Just more to read if you want to read about it. I think my computer's getting tired of reading. I'll go one more here. This one from Fox News. Stuart Varney. Biden's new mortgage rule pushing homeowners with good credit in pure politics.
During his latest My Take, Varney and Company host Stuart Stuart Varney discusses Biden's new mortgage fees rule as he draws comparisons to the 07 to 08 financial crisis, arguing the president's new affordable housing initiative is pure politics. Stuart Varney: when I saw this, I thought, here we go again. We're doing the same thing now that we did in the financial crisis over a decade ago. That is, we are giving favorable loan terms to people who probably can't repay. On May 1st, new rules on mortgage fees go into effect. Biden rule will redistribute. If you've got good credit, you'll pay more. If you've got a risky credit background, you pay less. That stands the whole idea of risk management on its head. Paying more because you have good credit, and paying less because you have bad credit, is not the way it's supposed to be. And it doesn't work. Look what happened in 07 and 08.
No, it doesn't work. That's just more to read. If you want to read more of that, I got one more for you before I shut this down. This is from CBS News. Saudi company draws unlimited Arizona groundwater amid drought.
Farms in western Arizona are growing alfalfa, one of the most water-intensive crops, in an area where there's a shortage of water. Some farms are foreign-owned and are shipping the crop to Saudi Arabia, where it's illegal to grow because it takes too much water. It's a growing controversy that could lead to a reckoning over scarce water supplies. Amid a backlash, the state legislature is considering a ban on most foreign-owned farms. Pumps are pumping water out of the ground that belongs to the state of Arizona, and essentially it's being exported to Saudi Arabia, said Chris Mays, Arizona's newly elected Attorney General. Piedmont, which is owned by one of the largest dairy companies in Saudi Arabia, bought vast tracts of desert in western Arizona on top of a massive groundwater aquifer, in part because there are no regulations on how much water can be pumped out of the ground. Anyone who buys or leases land there can put in a well and draw water. It's a challenge for the state. As climate change fuels devastating droughts, Arizona and its rapidly growing cities are facing drastic cuts to their surface water supply from the critically low Colorado River system. We cannot afford to give our water away frankly to anyone, let alone the Saudis, for free, said Mays. La Paz County Supervisor Holly Irwin, who has been sounding the alarm about foreign-owned farms since they began operating there in 2015, said Piedmont is growing alfalfa in the Arizona desert because they've depleted their natural resource back home. Piedmont trucks haul dried alfalfa off the property it uses and ships it back to the Middle East to feed cattle. According to Mays, cows in Saudi Arabia are essentially drinking Arizona water. Piedmont declined CBS News' request for an interview or statement. But what it's doing in Arizona is not illegal. In fact, the state rents some land to Piedmont for $25 an acre. The company can then pump unlimited amounts of groundwater for essentially no cost. There's nothing to say except, that's insane, said Mays.
Okay, there's more to read if you want to read the rest of it. And there's not much more to read. Anyway, I'm going to call this quits for today. I hope you give you some information. I hope you like, subscribe, and at least come back once in a while. Thanks for watching.